Craig Skitsmus, also known as Stuttering Craig, and now just going by Craig of the Side Scrollers podcast, used to be known as one of the OGs of online gaming content creation, being a co-founder of website ScrewAttack in 2006. And through this, being a pioneer of the medium, there are very few creators that have lasted as long as Craig has in his industry, and with being around for so long, Craig has had to adapt with the times, and throughout his career, he has had a mix of failures and successes in his endeavours. His most recent project is a reboot of the Side Scrollers podcast, and now he covers gaming news through an anti-woke lens, and it's safe to say it's a pretty decent success. But I see this anti-woke stance that Craig takes as insincere, and unfortunately, I think it lacks in any value and doesn't add anything to the conversation around wokeness in games. So it's quite funny to look back now and see that Craig's first endeavour into content creation was the Side Scrollers podcast, but this being back in 2006 took a very different form to what it is now. He initially wanted an online radio show about gaming, but he quickly found out what podcasting was and co-founded the ScrewAttack website with his friend Handsome Tom to host said podcast. And I haven't listened to a lot of this stuff for making this video, but it seems like solid content, especially for its time. I mean, this was all way before my time, but Joe Rogan started podcasting in 2009. And you know, people always say, oh, he's an innovator, he's one of the first guys. I don't actually know myself if that is the case, but it's an example. 3 years after Craig started doing his show, so I can't imagine there was much content like this online, and it didn't take long for them to start releasing video content with the Video Game Vault. These were pretty basic short form reviews, often being less than a minute long, covering retro games. If you watch something like their Intelligent Cube for PS1 video, it is pretty much just a brief overview of the game.
The goal of this game is to get a sweet IQ by getting more points. You try to capture the gray blocks while letting the black ones fall off. You can also use the green blocks to blow up the rest of them.
And as time passed, they upgraded their content, they started doing top 10s.
Number 10.
And they also started collaborating with other creators. Most notably, they scouted the angry video game nerd and got him to start releasing his videos on the ScrewAttack website. And things went so well for them that GameTrailers.com stepped in and struck a deal to host their content. This was a far more official and corporate style website than ScrewAttack, but the ScrewAttack team and the angry video game nerd seemingly had free reign to produce whatever content they wanted. So they were a pretty good fit. Game traders could keep their corporate image and they could host ScrewAttack and AVGN to do more relatable gaming content. And I look back on this age as a time of genuine and honest content creation. There wasn't a great deal of money to be made, and people didn't expect this to become a business. So people would just make stuff that they personally found interesting, and they would do whatever they like. Like you weren't going to find other gaming media outlets doing Soulja Boy diss tracks, or working with people to make their own Clerk-style web series.
3 game chicks you would not have sex with.
Ooh. Melina from Mortal Kombat. Any of the Draenei chicks from World of Warcraft. And Chun-Li.
Really? Not Chun-Li?
Oh yeah. You see, as amazingly hot as Chun-Li is, her massive, powerful thighs would crush any man like a vice.
Yes, that is a young pro Jared doing a bit where he gets his balls crushed by Chun-Li. And it's not only totally not creepy guy that's never done anything wrong pro Jared that started there. For example, Destin Legary started there before moving to IGN for 13 years, and the whole crew from Death Battle started their franchise under the ScrewAttack name. And after time, with Death Battle's meteoric rise and ScrewAttack's dwindling numbers, Craig made the inspired decision to split from Death Battle, retire ScrewAttack, and start Game Attack. And unfortunately, this project did not see the same success. In fact, here's Sean, who now does Hang Time, claiming that they made only $500 to $600 a month.
But our YouTube channel was making about, $500 or $600 a month on when we were at our highest. The most successful channel our YouTube ever was, we were making $600. Maybe like $1,000 a month.
So again, Craig parted ways, and it was a while until we'd hear from him again. I did have a bit about Craig coming back and interviewing his old friends, and his weird show with his loser brother, but let's get into what's really interesting, the new Side Scrollers podcast. Here they're covering gaming with an anti-woke lens.
But I hope you understand the show is not political. And the show is not meant to be political at all. Which, once again, not an anti-woke show.
Oh right, I guess it's not. What's going on over there then?
Ian came in with 10 gifted memberships. Let's go, Ian. Thank you very much.
Yes, Ian, you legend, you.
It will?
What a stud. Do we have Kersh bouncing up and down?
Oh, hang on. I gotta find her. Where is she? There she is.
There she is. Good to see you, Kersh. Thank you very much for your bouncing right there. That's wonderful.
That's just some out of context clip. Yeah, there's irony I'm not tuned into. I haven't been watching it enough. Oh, cool. It's well-known class act Arch Warhammer. He's gonna bring it back.
Give it up for Joey. Joey, thanks, dude, for the massive $50 super chat. Says, hi, Side Scrollers. Just wanted to ask.
This is the show? Pay $50 to see Craig's stash of TikToks that he's stored there for his personal use? This is truly disgraceful. Is this owning the feminists, or is this a group gooning session? And I feel like salt gets rubbed into the wound even more when you learn how Craig markets this new show.
Hey everybody, I'm Craig. Welcome to the Side Scrollers podcast channel. If you are a normal man who have found common sense, guess what? Hit that subscribe button and join the nearly 105,000 normal men this time. And we're going clean, we're going simple, just like normal men like. Let everybody know. Proclaim your normalcy now. The link is in the description down below. It is available. Just be a normal man.
Just be a normal man, and we're gonna get normal men on like Nick Ricata and Short Fatataku to tell tales of Gamergate.
Without seeking approval of the San Francisco Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools Maria Sue plans to unveil a new grading for equity.
You may have noticed this shrill banshee that's unable to control the volume of their voice. This is Craig's new co-host, Blabs. And yes, strange pick to get a disabled woman to host your podcast with you. I guess she's like the Hela Klein of the show. Maybe one day Craig will set her free in the woods. And what's crazy is Blab's flailing takes up way more of the airtime than Craig does. Craig is more of just a mouthpiece for all of the wonderful guests that he gets on the show. You've got Arch, he's gonna save the West by talking about Warhammer. We've got Twitch streamer Eric with his cowboy hat on over his headphones. Clearly bold, probably closeted. You've got Yellow Flash, I wonder what this guy's content's like.
All these game journalists like that bald woman that's in that intergalactic game. They don't like good-looking women. They don't like fit women. Every female character needs to look genderless and borderline, or they're not happy.
No way, I'm looking for a creator that still does Stellar Blade coverage and 10-minute daily uploads about Grum's tweets. Thank you, Yellow Flash. When gaming's fixed and the West is saved, we're gonna remember your Stellar Blade coverage. You can sit there in your goon cave with your VR headset on, and you'll be getting gifted skins for your Korean slob game from every white male as a token of our appreciation for your hard work. And with guests such as these, Craig's already reached the top. Craig is at the peak of content. So where's he gonna go from here? Well, Craig can always break new ground and learn about a new genre of content.
I'm just a normal man. I'm very excited to be on with you guys. This is incredible.
Don't worry. For any VTuber haters out there, Craig's incredibly non-committal. He's just learning about VTubing.
I've said this before. I am not super familiar with the VTubing space. I totally admit this, right? But I'm learning as we've had VTubers on our show. Like I said, this is something that I'm not, I'm learning about this space as we go. A lot of people are really excited that you're on today, us included. Glad you're with us. Love your model, by the way. Really,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really awesome. That's good stuff.
Like I said, I'm just a normal man.
Well, Craig, I'm starting to have my doubts. I don't really buy that normal men want to watch a hog-handed hag roleplay as an anime girl, let alone watch whatever the fuck this is.
Lolly gang represent. Before I was a hag. Before I was a hag foxu, I was a fresh 18-year-old foxu. Hello. Real Elin hours. Oh my god.
need correction. You need correction, chat. You are the one who needs the correction.
If Shadman is taking commissions, it has always been a dream of mine to have artwork done by the Shadman. Wasn't he in prison for drugs? I mean, Shad is a very controversial figure, but I still want artwork from him.
Everybody, a show for normal men. This is cool-based right-wing content for the new generation.
Okay. Also, have you not heard of bug chasers?
I think I've heard of it.
You've never heard of people wanting their neg hole to be paused?
I said Craig's non-committal, but this is the sort of thing that Craig is really into now. He is really big on supporting Kersh. So Kersh has had this smear campaign against her recently because she's a right-wing VTuber. And it's pathetic. I honestly hate the way that people are going after her sponsors for this. But it's displayed something about Kersh that I have a big distaste for, and I see this trick getting pulled off by many creators in this space. See, Kersh makes explicitly right-wing content, but when it comes down to her commentary on this matter, she just says, "Oh, I'm just slightly right-leaning of centre."
And I am a much, much easier target for these smear merchants because I lean slightly right of center. And because I lean slightly right of center...
And I'm just a little foxoo. I'm just a slightly right-leaning little foxoo.
That seems very targeted to me. And why? I'm an anime fox girl VTuber.
And I think if she really cared about what she talks about, she'd say something like, "I am a right-wing voice. More than half of the country that I live in have these sort of similar views that I have, and my voice is being silenced."
I'm just a cartoon fox woman.
To be fair, not everyone has to be principled, and they can just rake in money from simps, and she's done that quite well. She's even growing because people like Asmin Gold and Tectone are sticking up for her.
Yeah, again, the level of support has been amazing, and I definitely credit Asmin Gold for showcasing on his platform. I'm very grateful to him. I'm grateful to like Tectone, who had made videos on it.
Your dad's a yeah.
And Craig, like the businessman that he is desperate to suckle on the teat of Asmin's clout.
What do you think we need to do to get an Asmin Gold Kirsha crossover stream? Well, I'll tell you what, maybe we can, I mean, I don't know Asmin Gold, but maybe we can facilitate something like that. Maybe someone wants to clip this and present it to him on his show via his Reddit or however he, just throwing it out there. Everybody wants to do a crossover with Asmin Gold, but come on, get the Kirsha and her husbando together, and I think that'd be...
Come on, Kersh, please. I need to climb the ladder. I need to get rid of Eric. There's only so much attention I can drum up by getting rapidly aging Ehag Menally Mac as a guest on my show.
Neon suspenders for $10 is Kersh. Time to enlighten them on sounding. Manya, manya.
Oh yeah, I'm an uptight Christian that virtue signals every chance I get, but I'm happy to talk about sounding with a hypersexual VTuber, as long as it keeps the views up. So yeah, please keep coming back on, Kersh.
Those are how long your nails are? No way.
Those are my most recent picture, but yeah, that's about how long my nails
ass?
are. What do you mean, how do I wipe my ass? With my fingers.
With your fingers. Imagine the smell of this dirty, wretched woman's office.
Anything when your nails are in so long.
God, shut up!
Someone did make this video of scrolling all of this harasser's tweets just to give a sense of how many posts about me there were, and these are only the ones that mention my name. There were plenty that didn't have my name but were about me.
If anything, Dragon Fat Deposit, does that not normal person have anything to say nowadays? I'm joking, I didn't read this document. Someone in Short Fat Otaku's Discord's a freak? Big surprise. Seriously, this area of the internet is rotten. And Craig's got this other leaflet friend now.
Love your model, by the way.
Their content, it's a Kersh clone, but their role-playing's a child, and Craig's a huge fan. Seriously, you've got to stop watching these VTubers. So now I'll give Craig one bit of praise. He has at least managed to stick his flag into one take that he'll commit to, and that is, he really doesn't like the trans. But the commentary, it still is lacking. He just doesn't have a lot to say about it. Here you've got an all-trans competitive esports team competing in a women's league. This would be prime comedy for Metica 80 years ago. And now it's Craig's turn to relive some of that glory. So much potential outrage, so many potential zingers. And we've got Eric here as well. God, I just love Eric. So we're ready for some great commentary here. Take it away.
Eric, you're a dad. when you see this type of thing, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on all this nonsense?
Yeah. I just hope my daughters never have to play against one of them in sports.
I agree.
Truly top tier stuff there. And you know, normal men love talking about what woman is going to be cast as Zelda in a new live action adaptation. And they definitely have been watching too much Kersh at this point because they're really into the actress being young.
At least she's in the age bracket. She's not a 30-year-old man.
Okay. So let's. Oh boy. Okay. So let's throw out. I asked Rock to give me some actors between the ages of 16 and 20. Right.
Grok, find me a nice 16-year-old I can pull up on screen. And this, I'm dead serious. This is not a problem with Craig, right? I just have to point this out. This is a problem with Grok. He asks for 16 to 20-year-olds that could play Zelda, and the actress is of age, but all the pictures that come up are all from sites which have a blank word tribute and these sorts of things. It's so weird. Oh look, Sam and Chad are hanging out with the Hang Time guys, just playing some games. Kind of like what normal men would do.
And the better part is, I bet you those boobies are actually like squishy, because some anime figurines, their boobs are actually like made out of like a squishy material. You can go toot toot.
I'm a normal man.
Banned for telling the truth. Oh yes, well-known truth teller Tectone, come down. Ah! But the true problem with the Side Scrollers podcast is they lack any analysis with what they talk about. Like, they cover this new way that Sony's moderating their games, and they just don't know anything about it. They have this article, it's pretty bare bones, and they don't even read the entire thing.
Yes, so exactly. What exactly does this mean? Comparing the or each metric with an average or reference metric for a typical individual, as described elsewhere herein. So anyways, yes. So all this, we've seen Activision go in and
he's just like, social credit score.
But this very much sounds like a social credit score.
Dystopian future.
And not a huge fan of this kind of dystopian feel.
Tone policing.
Right? People have to self-police. They have to tone police.
Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword.
I don't really like the dystopian, like, thought policing. Like, every game's gonna have some kind of TOS and a way to punish people who are bad behavioral, right? But, like, when you start getting on this weird sliding credit score system, it creates, like, an artificial goodness, and then you don't know who the, like, shitty people are.
Yes, by implementing something that's going to detect bad actors, it's going to make it harder to see who the bad actors in the game are. Great input, Kersh. Thank you very much. And this stuff is frustrating to watch because they've already reached their conclusion before they've started their segment. Oh, the game industry is bad, so this is going to be bad. And yeah, it very well might be, but some investigation, some reporting would go a long way as to telling us why this is a problem. Like, imagine Total Biscuit, RIP, just looking at a headline or a tweet of something and being like, oh yeah, it looks bad, doesn't it? And moving on. You know, what's the point in learning about things? What's the point in finding things out? Don't think critically. Just get that low-level endorphin buzz as you melt into your gamer chair whilst you take breaks between masturbating over Korean computer graphics. But there is one exception. There is one exception to this podcast that some of you might make your head spin. With the bar that's been set by this show, and remember, it is with the bar that's been set by this show, Blabs kind of is like a free-thinking renegade. Like, Grums won't come back on their show anymore because Blabs has criticized him. He's a thin-skinned little bitch.
And we've had him on our show several times, and he's obviously welcome to come back at any time.
Yeah, Grums, come back on, please.
I can separate the idea that
He could be allegedly scamming people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No, he's raised over $500,000.
Like, it's respectable.
I think that he is a poor businessman who has put himself in a business situation.
He's deceitful.
Where he is, I don't think he's deceitful. I think he's unorganized.
He's actually lied about it.
I think that's worse. I think being unorganized can be, because if you're unorganized, you can be deceitful unknowingly.
Well, Blabs, maybe it's good that he lied actually, because that would mean that he's not a disorganized idiot. That checks out. It's good that he lied, yeah.
All right, can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
Do you find it lying that you would say on your Twitter bio that you are the CEO of a video game, but you're not actually, and it's been discovered and you wiped that from your bio?
I got to be honest, I don't. That's not that big of an issue to me.
Recently, they decided to do a great segment where they covered a tweet from Endymion TV, and spoilers, he got his info wrong yet again.
We have a source of this is from Endymion. Says, I just got sent this from a Ubisoft insider. They're still pushing Pride Stuff month internally, and alleged Ubisoft still hasn't shown any internal help or post about Men's Health Awareness Month.
And here comes the inquisitive, wonderful Blabs with yet another win.
I'm starting to think this newsletter is from years ago, because when you go and search "You Be Proud," the only thing that pops up is from 2022. So I think that maybe this thing existed, but it's not a new Pride Month newsletter.
Okay, so did they take it down?
Oh yeah, if they take down a years old cringe LGBT post off their website, that means I'll be able to start buying my Ubisoft again. And as you'd expect, Craig comes into damage control over the fact that they are incorrectly reporting about a years old post.
Allow me to kind of remember, there are internal things that you can join, right? This may publicly, it may be this way, but privately, there's always the public facing portal. Then there's the private facing portal in a lot of these big companies. So publicly, yes, you may not have access to the information, but privately, they may be saying other things.
True, but I'm just saying that the fact that they haven't said anything about "You Be Proud" anywhere in 3 years kind of seems a bit fishy to me.
And deep down, I think Blabs knows. I think Blabs knows that these people are complete idiots, don't fact check anything, and just spout whatever they can for engagement. And you know, even if she doesn't think that way, at least she's honest about it. She doesn't just immediately run defense the way Craig does. Here she is having the guts to say that Rey's theme from Star Wars, the soundtrack, is actually alright.
But and I'll even give a really hot one. Rey's theme is phenomenal. She sucks. The character sucks, but the theme, I love it. Love it.
This guy hears something about the Disney Star Wars films being good, and immediately has to jump in.
What an absolute garbage take, Blabs.
Well, see you guys.
Why? Because I like one thing.
Why? Because your opinion is AIDS. So that song may be the only good track in the new sequels. I'll give you that.
Yeah, what's wrong with saying I like it? You just agree with me.
It is still the stage 4 cancerous bloody shit of the soundtrack. It's still garbage.
Huh? Listen,
it's a terrible song.
Listen.
And this is the thing. This guy is such a numbskull, he doesn't have any skills to actually criticize something. It's like these people, they've just heard the term Mary Sue, and they've passively watched Mauler's videos, and have no way to actually retain the information because they're too stupid. And they have nothing. Eventually, he says, oh yeah, it's like a Harry Potter thing, that's why it's bad, which is a take that he's stolen from Blabs and got wrong.
That's a shame because I'm right, and if you listen to it and you listen to Harry Potter, try to find it. It's the same song in the Harry Potter soundtrack, which is a good soundtrack.
No, it's not. Find it. The only 2 songs that are in Star Wars and Harry Potter together are in Episode 2 and Chamber of Secrets because they came out the same exact time, and I have a whole video of that on my channel.
Right. You may want to revisit that channel and your videos. Yeah. Anyway, and your opinion as well.
See, Blabs actually seems to care about this stuff as well. She's actually paid attention to content and analysed it and made videos about it. What an absolutely novel and crazy idea.
That's fine, because anytime you mention the word Disney Star Wars or Rey, it's automatically just
no, this has nothing to do with the Disney
actually
thing.
Looking at it with like, let me listen to the track. You know what? I like it. It's nice.
Yes, Blabs. Yes, Blabs. She's saying it. Oh, Blabs. Blabs, you're just so epic. Maybe one day I could give you a little boop on your nose. Boop. Boop. Oh, Blabs. Oh my god, okay. I don't know what come over me there. Sorry.
Oh, there was us. Check that out. This is where they got pissed about the Real Game Awards.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's right, one of Craig's new ventures is starting an award show, the Real Game Awards. For real neckbeard Guna freaks. But we've got to give it to Craig, okay? He has ran some big conventions back in the ScrewAttack days, so he knows how to put on a big show that the crowd are gonna really enjoy. And Craig was selling tickets to this event for $150 a pop. I don't know, I've never been to a big glitzy award show before, so I don't really know if that's a good price. But also, interestingly, it's $30 to vote. If you want your voice to be heard, if you want to own the SJW left, just slip a bit of cash into Craig's pocket.
Am I a scammer?
Oh boy. Okay, so let's lock in. Jeff Keighley is about to look like a total chump.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Real Game Awards. I'm Stuttering Craig, and I want to let you know, this is not an industry show.
Oh cool, so this is like a little prelude to the event. You know, a little pre-recorded bit.
And with that said, let's get to the awards for the first category. Best Story. Hey, games give us thrilling action.
Wait, this is the show? Where are the people that paid for the in-person tickets? Are there just a couple smelly Nintendo fans that hate women stood behind the camera there at the arcade? Just a quick note, yes, this is how they have it set up for 2025, but if you use the Wayback Machine, this is the same structure they use for 2024, so they sold tickets for this last event, and they're selling tickets again for 2025s.
And the Real Game Award for Best Story goes to, with 32% of your vote, Black Myth Wukong. Hey, congrats, Game Science.
That's it? Congrats, Game Science! And the rest is just exactly that, but cameos from his friends. But no, it's based. They have stuff like Best Jiggle Physics.
These are your nominees for Best Jiggle Physics. Zenless Zone Zero, The First Descendant, Stellar Blade, and Lollipop Chainsaw. And the Real Game Award for the Best Jiggle Physics, with 72% of your vote, goes to Stellar Blade.
As you'd expect, there are many more cringe moments, but when you see Stellar Blade winning over and over again, it starts to make you understand that putting an award show in the hands of a bunch of brain-rotted morons isn't the best idea. But they do have at least a little bit of a unique spin, that they'll also do awards like Game Industry's Biggest Failure, hosted by Arch. But then there's the headline act.
Presenting the award for shitty-ass Game of the Year, Internet Icon and the angriest gamer you've ever heard. The Angry Video Game Nerd.
James!
Oh, great.
James, no!
Another award show. This one's called the Real Game Awards. I mean, come on. We're like the real Ghostbusters? Were there fake ones? I mean, that makes no f***ing sense.
But you're the AVGN!
Real clever, Craig.
Is nothing pure anymore? I know about Cinemassacre Truth in that. But this isn't... Wait. You know what? I think I get it. You know, when people get mad about Star Wars having gay scenes now, this is my Star Wars. Nothing is pure anymore. Maybe it's time to post on Twitter about how the First Descendant is cool. I also had this bit about this announcement. They're going to do some wholesome game stuff.
Nerd Duel, a trivia show that combines Jeopardy, Mario Party, and Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it's fun. Blabs Versus, where we introduce sweet, innocent young Blabs to some of the most classic games ever made.
And I was going to say, you know, Craig doesn't want to do the anti-woke stuff. He really just wants to do like normie gaming content, etc, etc. He's a grifter. But if you look at the past 2 weeks of the content they've put out, they haven't been doing any of this game stuff. They've just doubled down even more on the anti-woke stuff. And they're releasing like 5 videos a day of just these short, shit, vapid clips. So maybe Craig's heart is in it, and he really does want to save the West through the medium of video game industry criticism. So yeah, that's the video, but I do have a couple small announcements. One thing is a bit awkward. I am a leftist now. I've been watching a lot of Hassan, and you know, the guy, he talks a lot of sense, okay? Don't get too mad about it. But with that being said, there is one more breadtuber that I do want to talk about. You know, they're now years old, irrelevant videos, but I do think it's going to be really cool. So please subscribe, and thanks for watching.